Manifesting takes time. And, if you plant something in the ground, a seed, and you water it and you give it sunshine and everything it needs, it still will take the amount of time that it takes for that plant or tree or whatever to grow. And no matter what, if you say to the seed, come on, grow faster, it's still going to grow as it, is meant to grow naturally. And so I find that a lot of people get impatient about the conscious creation manifestation journey. They don't see results right away. And so then they think, oh, it doesn't work. But I'm here to tell you that I have been manifesting for over 30 years. I'm getting ready to turn 50. And I've been manifesting before it was even a thing, before people knew about what it was, before I even realized exactly what I was doing. I was just doing it at a very young age. And it works, the whole ask and you shall receive, and, consciously creating and manifesting. It really does work, but it is a bit more like complex than just like, I want this and then it magically arrives. Like it's a little bit, there's more layers and there's more complexity to it. So I'm Schamet Horsfield, and I am a master manifester, and I love manifesting. And I wanted to come on and share a story with you about how, when we're on our soul path purpose alignment and we, are in alignment with what we're consciously creating and manifesting, how amazing and magical life becomes. And, I'm practical with both feet on the ground, firmly planted, but at the same time that I have my feet planted on the ground and my roots down into the earth, I reach right up into the cosmos. And boy, oh boy, do I fly and imagine and create. And I believe that when you believe in magic, magic happens to you, and life is magical and exciting. And, I love that about life. So I've got a story to share with you, a few. The first one, talking about how manifesting takes time. I used to drive around the bays here in Island Bay, New Zealand, and I would just dream about living in Island Bay. Like, I love Island Bay. It is my favorite place on the planet. And I just like fantasize because, I was a bit of a hippie girl doing healing, in my little Toyota that I had painted purple and silver and gold. And I had, I stenciled think good thoughts. I wish I would have taken photos of my car. It was so cool. And I had a phoenix painted on the hood. And like, I was a hippie girl. We couldn't afford to live in Island Bay, but I just dream about it. I would fantasize about it. I would envision myself living in Island Bay. And, I didn't do it obsessively, but every few months, I'd just have a little drive around the bays and just like imagine that I'd be living there one day and like how happy I would be. But I also would let it go. Like I wasn't like attached and clinging on to it. It was like very whimsical and fun and dreamy. And then I would just return to where I lived and like da 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 da. And fast forward, I'm living in Island Bay. It's so amazing and I love it. But it took time. Like I envisioned it, I dreamt it into reality. And over time, and the practical part of it too is then we reached a place where we could afford to live in Island Bay. And so, one day my husband says, let's move to Island Bay. And I was like, really? Okay. And he says, yeah, start looking at places. And I was like, all right, great. Backtrack though, we tried to buy a place in Island Bay, and we didn't get it because we didn't have enough money. And so, again, I had to let go. It was like not the right timing. And so then when we could afford it, he said, go and look. And so I went and sat in front of the island, an island bay, and I just put a dream, message out there and said, oh, dear God, goddess, Allah, spirit, all, I just like the universe. I say all the names, all the different names of the creator, the all that is. Please hear my prayer. And I put a prayer out there of, a list of everything I wanted. And it was so detailed. It was like half new, half old, tsunami safe zone, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, garage, yoga space, healing room, man cave. I put all of it on there. Modern kitchen, like fireplace, like, or a wood burning stove, just all the things that I really wanted and my husband and the family, would want. And so I put it all out there. And then right at the end, and I said, and if I could have this view, this exact view, it would just be so amazing. Then gratitude, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you for hearing my prayer. And then I just let it go to the universe with so much gratitude and love. Well, it turned up the exact house 1 hour later in my inbox because I was living on a farm in rural New Zealand. So I drove back to the farm, which took about 45 minutes, got home, checked my email, and I cried. I was like, oh my goddess. It was absolutely everything on my list. And not only that, and I loved it, it had the exact views. Like the house was literally right behind me when I made the prayer, like literally right behind me. Like I got exactly what I asked for. But, I've thought about this a lot because it's like, wow, that was really fast. Like I asked and then I received an hour later. Whoa, that was like the fastest manifesting I've ever done. However, what led up to that, I was putting it out there energetically, law of attraction for years. I had already been lining up everything energetically, or I should say on a co-creative level. I put it out there and everything was being lined up for me energetically for years. And so what seemed like fast manifesting was actually a culmination of time, of energy, of watering that plant, making sure the plant got water, making sure the plant got everything it needed, sunshine. And for this was like knowing what I wanted, being specific about what I wanted, and not giving up on that dream, like putting it out there and then letting go, and putting it out there and letting it go. And that was incredible. And now, was the manifesting perfect? No, it wasn't, because the house had some problems. Like we had to repile the whole house, and like we went under the house and went, oh no. And then I got really like, well, I actually said, nah, we're not buying it. And my husband was like, what do you mean? This is our dream home. I was like, yeah, but it's going to be really expensive to fix. And he goes, honey, did you think that you could just have everything you want on a golden platter, And I was like, yeah, I'm a manifester. He goes, oh, come on. We're living like in this world where, things are not perfect. And he goes, and besides, when it's meant to be, and this house is meant to be, you have to work for it. You can't just have things for, easy. And I was like, why not? And I, got a little bit stroppy with the universe and said, come on, God, goddess, universal energy, what's going on? And I was driving in my Pathfinder, had a Nissan Pathfinder at the time, Pathfinder. And I'm like driving and I said to God, bit stroppy, come on, like, what's going on? I thought this was our dream home. And now, it's got all this stuff wrong with it. It was like being held up with a metal rod. And what was interesting is I had a oracle reading by Colette. Oh gosh, what's her last name? Anyways, oracle card with a house, a blue house floating in the sky, and then a metal rod holding up the house. It was the exact shade of blue that our house is. And it says home sweet home. And I felt like because it was floating and our house needed the foundations done, it was our house. And the rod in the card holding up the house in the actual oracle card looked exactly like the rod that was holding up our freaking physical house. I was like, whoa, okay, something's going on here. Like, this is magical. And, the house and the card was all like shiny and sparkly. And, and I felt that inside when we we're in the house, like, oh, I felt so much love. Like, oh, I'm home. We'd looked at 100 homes and it was like, nah, nah. And this one was like, oh, sing. Oh, my heart chakra opened. My husband and I are like trying to hold back how much we loved it in front of the real estate agent, right? But it was our home. So anyways, I'm driving and I said, come on, God, tell me the truth. Is this our house? Like, I want to know right now, is this our home? And a little black car pulled in front of my Nissan Pathfinder and the license plate said, house for you. I'm not kidding. You get messages. I've always gotten messages in songs, license plates, messages on t-shirts, like they come in all directions, in all forms. So house and then a 4 and then a U. And it was speedy and it was going fast. And so I went faster to like really look at that license plate and go, oh my goddess. I tried taking a picture with my phone, but it was going so fast. I was like, oh, but it's a message. Okay, it's the house for us. Well, it was. It was our house. And we redid the foundations. And the foundations are now stronger and better than ever. Because we had a bit of an earthquake and it was like rock solid, just fine. It's like on solid rock now. And so the blessing is that we've got even better and stronger foundations for it. We just had to do the work. We just had to commit to what we believed in, and so, I wanted to share this story because sometimes people think the manifesting journey should just come easy and it should come quickly. And, and then if it doesn't, then it doesn't work. Well, I'm here to tell you it does work. Got another story for you. I teach in stories and, this one like has really blown my mind because it just happened recently. And even though I teach this stuff and I know this stuff and I'm a master at manifesting, it's still when it happens, like I just get so excited because I just love how magical, because a lot of people now teach about manifesting as the science and there's no magic to it. And I'm like, don't leave the magic out of life. I don't subscribe to that. I think you can be all sciencey about it if you need to be, but there's a magic and mystery to it too that I feel for me and my heart that, if you can open to it, it's just so fun. And it's high vibration. And so you don't need to know and control everything. There can be this surrender to the magic of life and just allow that to come in. Well, I just had it come in again recently. I wrote and illustrated a children's book called Own Baby, Child of the Universe back in 2010. And that was a ask and you shall receive. I asked the universe what I was meant to be doing and let it go. And then boom, I had this Own Baby character come through and I drew him like in a minute. Like I just drew him right after I'd asked. It was just like totally like, asking and receiving and like, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. And then I drew every nap time when my baby was sleeping. And I had about 30 illustrations. And then I turned it into a book and a clothing line. And like, it was all like passionately being channeled through me. And it was amazing. Like I had a lot of success. This was in Seattle, Washington. And, things were really, becoming quite successful for me. I got into all the Whole Foods markets and all these really cool boutiques and amazing shops. And it was an amazing thing to do while I was having babies and raising children, because I did take time off my healing practice and didn't work. I wasn't working, but I was creating. And so I created this world of Om Baby. And it was, my life path purpose. It was my passion. It was my purpose. It was just like Om Baby and my little babies were my world. And, and my ethics, my morals, my values, like everything went into creating the world of Om Baby. Well, then when we moved back from Seattle, Washington to New Zealand, I had two small kids, a brand new baby, Halifax, and we moved on to a small rural farm. Well, I decided that I needed to put all my energy into my human babies. And so I put Om Baby in a box. And Om Baby has been in that box with the series that I had written. I had written the series. I had written the book proposal that I was going to send to Hay House, and I never sent it. And I never finished what I had started. It just went into this box, right? Well, recently, I have submitted my oracle cards to 4 different publishers. And Om Baby was like, don't forget about me. And then Om Baby just came back in and was like, you need to take me out of the box. You need to finish Planet Om. I had finished it. I just wasn't really happy with it. I'd had 2 small children, and, I just knew that it needed some finessing. But, this is what happened. I go out in the garage and I'm like, oh my goodness, because we had quite a lot of stuff in there and I had no idea where it was. And my husband's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm looking for my Om Baby stuff. He's like, good luck. Well, it ended up being the second box that I opened, and I open it. There's my Hay House Writers Workshop manual from, 2011, I think it was. And, a directory of publishers, and my, my original work, my proposal letter, my Om Baby book series, Planet Om. It's just like right there. It's all been waiting for me. And the CD that had all, my book that I sent off to the printers, like everything was like right there. I opened it up. It's like, wow, this is amazing. So I plugged it all into Word, and I, had to rewrite it because it was like, I wrote it back in 2011, right? It was in the month of May, because when I started rewriting, and I rewrote Planet Om, like, boom, it just all like came through me because it's the right time. So I'm sharing this story with you to show you that, it wasn't the right time for me then. I thought it was, but there were other things that were a priority, like my children and supporting my husband and his career, and, just being a mom. And actually what Om Baby's all about is friends, family, community. And I needed to be 100% present with my 2 children. And so I had to put Om Baby in a box. And then it was time to revisit, because this is what happened. I'm sitting there rewriting, and there was one line in there, a special day in the month of May, all Om Babies looked up into the sky and the stars reflected in their eyes. And that line to me is very special. It's a very pivotal point in the story. Once the book is published and out there and you read it, you'll understand why. And then, for some reason, I kept going back to that line, and I was like, there's something special about this. And then I realized that not only was my son born in the month of May, Halifax. And, Own Baby Child of the Universe was really like inspired by Octavius. But I really wanted to create a book for Halifax that I could dedicate to Halifax. So Halifax was born in the month of May. Not only that, but I wrote it in May. I wrote the proposal in May, and I took Own Baby out of the box and sent it to publishers in May. And so I was like, wow, that's amazing. And it was an affirmation to me to know that I'm on the right path at the right time, because I was thinking, why have I put Own Baby in a box for so long? Why has it taken me so long to pull him back out of the box? Why didn't I ever send the proposal off to Hay House or to all the other publishers? Like, I don't know why I didn't finish this. Why is it taking me so long to come back to it? Because it's like Own Baby went offline and came back online. But it's been 13 years, right? But then I realized through the month of May, Own Babies looked into the sky and the stars reflected in their eyes was the alignment, the star alignment, the spiritual alignment for Own Baby is now. It's all in perfect timing. Going back to manifestation takes time. Like it was a seed in the ground, and now it's like, okay, we're ready to come up out of the ground and bear the fruits of what I had created. And so I got so excited about it, and I just wanted to come on and share this with you because I just think it's so magical and so exciting. And then the number being 13 years too, I got a thing with the number 13. I know people say it's bad luck, but actually 13 is a very magical number. It's the number of the goddess. It's the number of manifestation. Like 13 is a very, very auspicious and powerful number, demonized because of the fear of 13. But actually there are 13 moons. There are 13 cycles. Like 13 is a very, very magical number. It's the number of matriarchy and feminine power. And, and we have been suppressed for so long, but we're coming out. We're coming out of the box. We're coming out and saying, nope, we're reclaiming this. And my dog, Snowy Starla, and my cat, her name is 13, but they were both born on Friday the 13th. So I've got, a special affinity with 13, being my cat's named 13, and my little fur babies, my two little girls are, both born on Friday the 13th, but I've always had, good luck with that. So not only May, but then the 13, and I'm like, wow, this is so exciting. So I've now sent my proposal for Own Baby, Child of the Universe, and Planet Ohm, and all the books in the series. It's all finished, it's all complete, and it's all been sent to publishers. And so I'm just so excited about that. And I've sent my oracle cards. And so, yeah, a lot is happening for me, and I feel aligned to my soul path purpose. And so it's all happening, and it's so exciting. And as many of you know, I'm back at University at Victoria studying psychology with a minor in creative writing, and I'm loving it. And it's exactly where I'm meant to be. And, everything has fallen into alignment for me. And I don't say that to brag, but I say it to be like, here's my credentials. I have manifested and consciously created a life of my wildest dreams. And I'm almost 50 years old, and I can honestly, truthfully, openly say I've got my soul path purpose partner. We've been together for over 25 years now. I manifested him. He's, the man of my dreams. Like, he is my soulmate. He is my life partner. He is my love. And over 25 years, successfully married and like still in love and like all that good stuff. And then the two most beautiful children, which are now, I mean, they're my own babies, but they're now teenagers, 13 and 16. I live in my dream home, in my dream location. Like, this house is my dream home and my husband's dream home, and the kids love it. I mean, everyone that comes here loves it. It is our home. And, living in my dream country, I love New Zealand, was meant to be here. Actually had when I was in preschool, I couldn't read yet. I was looking at a picture book and I saw all these rolling hills and sheep. And I just thought to myself, oh, I'm going to live here one day. I couldn't read yet. I was little. I was in preschool. It's like, I'm going to live here one day. And then, I came to New Zealand because I fell in love with this Kiwi guy and came here and went, oh my God, I've arrived. I'm home. Like, just initially just like loved it. And then when I saw the Rumatakas with all the sheep and their hills that have a particular shape, I drew them in the Own Baby book actually, but they were those hills. And I went, this is what I saw in that picture book when I was little, like, I'm home. And so, I'm going to be talking about this and diving deeper into alignment, conscious creation, manifestation, and, and going into, the wounds to wisdom and the wisdom to superpowers, why sometimes we have trouble manifesting, why things don't work out, and then how to surrender to that and surrender to, Anadea Judith calls the crosswinds that, when you've got that, because I trained with Anadea Judith and Lion Goodman. And, I was manifesting long before I did that training, but it just added another layer to my understanding of manifestation and how sometimes there's these crosswinds that come that can throw us off. And, like you're pointing, if you do archery, a bow and arrow, and you're shooting that arrow at the target, and then something comes and hits you off target. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about how, to transform those wounds into your wisdom and then into your superpowers, and why developing intuition and psychic abilities can help you become a better manifester. And that has been the foundation to my manifestation abilities. Like, they're the tools that sharpen everything. And so we'll be talking about that too. It's a free masterclass and it's happening soon. It's happening on June 9th. So there'll be a link below where you can sign up. It will be free. I'm not sure if I'm going to record it yet. We'll just see how we go. And so there could be a recording, but try to make it there live. The live ones are so good, because we get the group energy. It's going to be on Zoom. So you'll be able to work with me. You'll be able to talk to me. It's not a webinar where you just can chat with me. I find that really impersonal and I don't like it. So I don't run my Zoom calls like that. I like you to be able to see me and I can see you and we can interact. And I think there's something very special about that. So I'm not going to be doing the webinars. I'm kind of anti webinars. It's like so impersonal in this world today. I mean, another thing I don't like is going to a restaurant and having to order off of a computer. Like, can we just have a waitress? I don't know. Call me old school, but I like people. I like connection. So when you get on there with me, you will be able to connect directly with me. And I look forward to meeting you. I hope you enjoyed my stories. I just thought, you can be told about manifesting. You can be told the science behind it, which we will be delving into. But when you hear the actual stories of how people have actually directly had success, I don't know about you, but for me, it's like, oh, I can really relate to that. I can get that. I can understand it and I can believe it because it's really happened for someone else. And so if you're like me and you enjoy that, the stories of the reality, and I've got so many, those were only two, then, join me for the free masterclass. And I look forward to connecting with you. And let's do some manifesting, because we are going to have a manifesting ceremony in the free masterclass as well. So it's interactive. Bring your journal, bring your pen, wear comfortable clothes, and get ready to have some fun and do some manifesting. And I look forward to seeing you and sharing my transforming wounds to wisdom and wisdom to superpowers manifesting masterclass. So much love and so many blessings to each and every one of you.